Okay, today we are going to go through just general operation of the Plus1 controller for the 2006-2007 Bearcat chip spreader. This is the Plus1 model with 2 seats. That's one way to designate this controller. It would have 2-seat operation. So, the first thing, spread rate. If it's red and nothing else is red, you can just use your increase-decrease numbers. So once you are done, you can change this number anytime while you're sitting, while you're operating, while you're spreading. You can change that number. And it is an active number, so as you change it, that will be your new spread rate. I'm going to turn on some speed. Okay, so we've got 285 feet a minute. Now if we turn on, we're spreading, we're counting. That's the only time you will count linear feet, is if your gates are open and you're moving. Now if you want to reset the counter, you use your select button. Select, it's turned red. Hold your reset for about 3 seconds. It's reset. Select again. On this model, there is no square yard calculation, so it will always read 0. This is your engine RPM from the alternator. This is not off the Cummins computer system. This is from the tach signal on the alternator. Speed in feet per minute or meters per minute. Percent open of the cam. So right now our cam is 11% open. As we require more chips, now the cam is moved to 14% open. Width is displayed by how many gates are selected. We can use the taper switch. As we turn off gates, it displays the width. Air pressure is the air pressure from the air compressor on the diesel engine. Hydraulic temperature. If it is just stuck at 154 degrees F, you've got some kind of a problem with the hydraulic temperature sensor itself. Probably wiring or a bad ground connection. Button 8 will run the cams either in auto, manual, or off. And when it's in anything but auto, it displays it in red. Back to auto, it displays it in white. Now to go to the next page, we use the up and down arrows. So up is the next page. This is the setup page. We're going to go through and change this to a standard machine. We'll just go through a few of the operations first. Manual opening, this is where you would set your default manual opening, so that any time you go to manual opening back here, which means manual, it would go to that opening. I'm not on a machine, so it doesn't automatically go there. That's where it would have gone to 40%. So we're saying anytime we hit the manual open, the cam will go to 40% open. If we select down, that box is blank. The next box is FCAL. This is where you would run 1,000 feet, check your distance, and if your foot count on the front display is off, then you can adjust that number there. The next thing is simulate feet per minute. It defaults to 300. This is where if you want to turn on your simulate feet, hold that. Now it's on. And see, we've gone from our input of 385. Now it's just sitting at 300 feet a minute. This is great for doing testing, or if you have a pulse pickup failure in your feet per minute travel, you can run your simulated feet. Select. We're going to go past that. Next thing is meet line. Meet line is a function where instead of closing your gates with the close switch, you can use a meet line switch. It'll close the gates, and then it will keep track of where you close those gates, so when you go to pick up a new truck and come back, it will automatically open the gates. This is where you adjust when the gates open. Balance, that will affect the right box only. A plus number will increase the opening of the right box. A minus number will decrease the opening of the right box. Metric, I'm sorry, you would hold metric, let me get back to it, and then you would hold your increase button for 3 seconds. All your functions, when they're selected, you use your increase decrease buttons to either increase the number or change the state. Now we're back to English. Next thing is left gate. This is where if you have a 20-foot chipper but you're only going to use 18 feet all the time, you could knock off 1 off each side, 2 off one side. See, we can come over here. Okay. Our next thing is we're going to scroll up to the width of the machine. So it's 20 feet. Let's say we want to change this to a standard machine. We're going to go to the tandem. We're going to hold the, now we've got a standard machine. It's a 20-foot standard. If typically most standards are 16 feet, so we're going to scroll back to that 20 feet. Now we're going to decrease it to 16 feet. Never go less than 16 feet on this number here. So if you have a narrower machine than 16 feet, what you're going to want to do is scroll through, get back to where the left is selected. Okay? And it tells you now adjust it with your arrows. So if we have a 12-foot machine, we're going to take 2 off this side. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side. Select again, we're on the right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On that side we hit OK. If we go back to the front panel, now we're set up as a 12-foot standard machine. They're all in a row. And we can adjust those gates as we're chipping with our taper switch. But see, we can never go more than a 12-foot machine now. And we can go all the way across. And when we come back, we can never go bigger than a 12-foot machine. This displays your pot percentage open. On a standard, you will only be displaying pot A. So there's your pot percentage open. This is where you would do your pan weight. So let's say you run across and do a calibrated weight and you're a little light, you need a little more. You can increase your number. Well, let's say you're heavy. This would say, hey, we had 27 pounds. So we're going to put 27. We were trying to hit 25. Put 27. Hit OK. It saved the number. You saw it flash, and it says we did this calibration at 25 PSI. Now, if you run across again and it's 26 pounds, you're closer but not quite there. Oops, I'm sorry. Go to 26 pounds and hold till it flashes. Now you have your new calibration. That concludes this just general standard setup and use of the 2006-2007 Plus1 chipper control.